So what is SSL? Well, SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, and in essence it is a security protocol. Now the way it works is it encrypts the data that comes from your server and travels to your visitor's browser. And what that means is that as the data is being transferred, that people can't jump onto that stream and steal your customer's information. So let me phrase it a different way. WhatsApp on your phone also has an encryption, which means that only your phone and the person that you're texting can see the messages that you're sending. And without this specific encryption, it means that the information comes through all gobbledygook. So SSL isn't a legal requirement for websites to have. However, Google actually, since 2017, has been started to downrank websites that don't have it, because one of Google's primary driving forces is that they want you to be able to reliably deliver content. Now, the way to show Google that you can reliably deliver content is by showing them that your website is secure. Chrome actually, in fact, if you're about to go onto a website that doesn't have SSL certificate, it will actually warn the visitor that this isn't a secure website. And 9 times out of the 10, the visitor will leave and won't actually explore through your website. So even if you're not taking payments, or you don't have sensitive information on your website, not having an SSL certificate can actually do your website a lot more damage than good. So most hosting providers provide a free SSL certificate as standard. What you'll find is that the cheaper hosting providers, they'll actually charge you extra for it. So when you're purchasing a hosting plan, always make sure that SSL is included, or that you know what the SSL costs are going to be before you start your build. So how do you find out if a website has SSL certificate? Well, actually it's very easy. If you open a web browser, scroll to the top and look where the domain name is. To the left of it on Chrome, you'll see a tiny little padlock. And that padlock actually indicates that this is a secure website, and this website is encrypted with an SSL security protocol. Another really simple way of finding out whether a site has SSL is to actually look in the domain name itself. So on the left, it will actually say HTTP, and then it'll have a domain name. Now, if that's the case, it means that this website is not secure. What you want to look out for is the beginning bit, for it to say HTTPS, and the S stands for secure. And that's a very quick, easy way to find out whether the site that you're about to visit has an SSL certificate. So how do you get one? Well, as I mentioned before, a lot of hosting providers will provide SSL as standard for free to their clients, and that will give you a basic security encryption. And really, for most people's needs, this is all you require. However, you may have to purchase an additional SSL certificate, and if that's the case, reach out to your hosting provider and double check. So before you do anything, you need to make sure that the SSL certificate is installed on your server. So there are lots of different ways to do this. We always advise contacting your hosting provider, because every single hosting provider does it slightly different. With pod hosting, all our SSL certificates come automatically loaded on as standard. So as soon as you've purchased your website and you've taken out your hosting plan, you don't need to contact us to tell us about the SSL. So next we want to actually load SSL onto the website itself. So once you've got it on the server, you then want to log into WordPress and force WordPress to load SSL. Now, the one thing to watch out for, and it's easily done when people are starting to build, they get so excited about building their website that they jump on and they rush off and they start building. Now, this is going to cause you a lot of problems later. If you don't install the SSL certificate first, all that information that you put on will actually be unsecure information. So say, for example, you start building, adding images and text, and then you go, oops, I need my SSL certificate. If you install it here, everything that you've built previously won't be secure, and it'll take you a lot longer to go back through all that information, find the links that aren't secure and replace them with secure links. So what we always recommend is install the SSL certificate first and then start your build. And this way you'll ensure that everything that you build will be SSL. So there's two main ways that you can force WordPress to produce your SSL. So the first we're going to look at is in settings, and the second one we're going to look at is then to fix any insecure content. So what that means is sometimes, even if you tell WordPress that you want everything to be SSL, sometimes you get a mixed content, which is a combination of unsecure and a combination of secure. So in the second part of the video, we will show you how to make sure that WordPress is actually pushing out secure images. So let's jump into it. And let's look at our settings. So we want to go to settings. Then we can see on general here that we have a few settings here. So a lot of these settings will actually change later on in the tutorial. So for now, we're just going to focus on setting up SSL. So as you can see here, we have our WordPress address URL. We also have our site address URL. So what we want to do here, we can see that WordPress is displaying HTTP. Now, as I mentioned before, HTTP isn't secure. So we need to make sure that it's forcing HTTPS. And it's actually a lot simpler than you think. You just need to click next to the HTTP and input S. Do the same for the one below. And scroll to the bottom and click Save Changes. This will then actually kick you out of your website because up until this point it was loading you on HTTP, which was unsecure. And now that we've told it to load us on HTTPS, which is secure, it actually kicks you out because it sees it as a different URL. So we just need to log back in. And we can see here that it is showing HTTPS. So that's good. Now, if we open our website in private mode, now if you're on a Mac, this is Command-Shift-N. And if you're on PC, this is Control-Shift-N. And you have to make sure that you've actually on a browser first. So in this instance, we've opened up incognito for Chrome. So again, we just need to type in our URL. So you're going to put in test. PODTech.org. And we can see here that this is our website. As we haven't done anything to it yet, it's just the default one. But if we look in the top corner, it's still saying not secure. So even though we're telling WordPress to push the HTTPS, it's not 100% doing it. So I'm just going to move this window for a second. The next thing we want to do is actually to force our site to push HTTPS. Now, there's lots of ways to do it. If you're on a PODTech hosting plan, we actually provide a free tool that optimizes your site and also forces HTTPS all in one place. And we call that SG Optimizer. So next, I actually want to show you a generic plugin. So if you're using a third-party hosting provider and not using PodHost, this is what you want to use. So you go to plugins, which is on the left here, add new. And then in the search bar, just type in simple SSL. And this is what you want here, really simple SSL. Install that, activate that, and just follow the quick guides. We actually do have that explained in a bit more detail in the article. So if you read that, you'll find out a bit more. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to quickly show you how to do it through PodHost's automated all-in-one plugin. So we come to SG Optimizer and we want to head over to Environment Optimization. From there, you can actually see Enable HTTPS. So if you click that and toggle it on, click Confirm and Fix Insecure Content. So if I drag that screen back into view and let's give it a refresh. And now, as you can see, the padlock is there. And if you click it, it says connection is secure. So that's how you set up a SSL certification.